y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to today's video, which is going to be just a good old-fashioned haul style video because I did some shopping during the Sephora Spring Savings event and I am so excited to share with y'all all of the goodies that I picked up. So we're going to go through everything in my bag, we're going to do some swatches, and later on this week I will film a video trying everything on and giving you some of my first initial impression thoughts. But of course I will have all these products listed and linked for y'all down below in the description box, as well as what I am wearing on my face today. I did film this eye look. It should already be up on my channel as a short using the new Titanium Fox's Jay's Joy eyeshadow palette. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check that description box because I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's get this party started. So the first thing that I picked up is the One Size Turn Up the Base foundation. I picked mine up in the shade Fair 15, which is supposed to have a rosy undertone to it. Now this is a full coverage mattifying foundation, which are two things I don't typically go for in a foundation, but this is also supposed to be very long wearing, lightweight, waterproof, and sweat proof. And those are the claims that got me with this because I'm hoping it's going to be a perfect foundation for our hot, humid summers down here in Texas. And I figure if it's a little too full coverage and mattifying for my skin, I can mix it with the B12 base thinner from One Size, and maybe that will give me my perfect formula. But first of all, I love this packaging. I love the red top with this glass bottle. I think it is so incredibly beautiful. But let's swatch this out and see what it's going to look like on the back of my hand. So that is the formula right there. It is very thick, but this does feel very creamy whenever I spread it out. And I think that's going to be a really good shade match for me. It's definitely giving me full coverage, and right now it has a little bit of like a sheen to it, but I'm sure once it dries down it will be matte. So I'm really excited to try this out. Like I said, I'm hoping it's going to work really well in the summers, especially if I pair it with the Secure the Sweat primer and maybe the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder, the One Size setting spray. Maybe it will be my perfect combo for in the summer. So I'm really excited about that one. So speaking of Huda Beauty, I did pick up her new Easy Bake setting spray. I know I don't need another setting spray in my collection, which is why I only picked up the mini one. I figured if I really like it, I can always get a full size after I finish this one. But honestly, curiosity got me with this one, and I'm always curious when Huda releases a new product. They're very hit or miss with me, but for some reason, I just find her line to be very intriguing. And this one really got me because it's supposed to make your makeup last up to 16 hours, which I find oddly specific. It's also supposed to be pore blurring, it's supposed to control shine, all without drying out the skin. So we will see. Like I said, I am really curious about this one, so I'm just going to give it a good shake and we're going to try this out. It does have a little twist right here, so it doesn't have a cap that comes off, but I just want to see what the mister is going to be like. Okay, very fine. It doesn't have a fragrance to it. It feels very lightweight on the skin, so we will see what that does. I'll definitely have to do a wear test where I kind of douse half of my face with this and then leave the other half unset, wear it for 16 hours, and see what it does. So the next thing that I picked up is the new Beauty Soulmates face palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and honestly I didn't pick this up from Sephora. I actually got it from Nordstrom, but I got it during their 15% off sale, and then I had a $10 note, which is basically a cashback reward system. Like the more you spend, the more cashback you get. So if I hadn't had all that, I would have gotten it during the Sephora Spring Savings event, and it is available at Sephora, so I figured we just throw it in here anyway. But I could not resist this. It is so incredibly tacky, but in the best way possible. It is giving me Sailor Moon vibes with this little rhinestone right here on the front, but I just thought this was so beautiful. And honestly, I have to admit this packaging is a little heavier than what I expected it to be, especially after her eyeshadow palettes that she released fairly recently. Those felt so cheap, it was a little disappointing, but I just think this is beautiful. I love the pink blush in here, and then this powder over here is actually her Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, but it has a pinky undertone to it. Now she does have another one that has more of like an orangey leaning blush and like a peachy leaning powder in it as well, but for my fair cool undertone skin, I went with this one, and I'm excited to try this. So let's do a swatch of the two shades. So here we have the blush, really pretty, bright, beautiful pink shade right there, and then we have the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in this pink shade, and we're gonna put that one right there. Very pretty, very subtle as far as the pink goes, but I do really like this formula. In fact, it was a favorite under eye powder for me for a very long time until I discovered the one from Pat McGrath. So I'm excited to see what this one looks like under my eyes. I'm excited to try out the blush, and I cannot wait to dive into this one. Like I said, I know it looks very tacky, but in the best way possible in my opinion. This next product is one that I have been eagerly awaiting ever since it was sneak peeked, and I was so excited when I saw that it was available just in time for the sale. It's the Fenty Beauty Hot Cheeks Velour Blush Lighter. She released 3 shades of this formula last summer. I picked up one of them and I absolutely love it. It's actually in my everyday makeup drawer for the month of April. So when I saw that she was releasing 2 more shades, I knew I had to pick up at least this one. This one is in the shade Cherry Pied. She also brought out this beautiful kind of berry leaning shade as well. That one looked like it would be a little too deep for me, and since I just got the ones from Rhode, I figured I didn't need that one, so I just went with the shade Cherry Pied, and actually this is currently sold out on Sephora. Hopefully they will bring it back in stock before the sale ramps up again for the Rouge and the Insider members. But look at the packaging, isn't that so cute? I hope you can see the lenticular motion, how it goes from like one cherry to a bunch of cherries. I love it. I think it's so cute. And that is our beautiful blush shade in here. Isn't that gorgeous? I just thought this was going to be so pretty for spring into summer. Very bright, very vibrant, give that really pretty kind of shine to the cheek. So let's do a swatch and see what this is going to look like. Oh my gosh, that is so insanely beautiful. These are very pigmented, but they blend out on the cheek just absolutely beautifully. So I cannot wait to try that shade on. I'm a little nervous it's going to be a little much for me, but at the same time, I think it's going to be beautiful as well. I did pick up another blush, and it's one of the newest ones from Tower 28. This is the Get Set Blur and Set Matte Powder Blush. I picked mine up in the shade Long Beach Iced Tea, and I've heard really good things about this formula. I've heard it's very soft, very smooth, very blurring on the cheeks, and I just loved this color. So this is what the component looks like, and then that is our beautiful shade in there. So a very beautiful, like peachy, neutral, everyday shade for me. So let's do a swatch of this. Ooh, that is so silky and velvety feeling to the touch, and that is the beautiful shade right there. Ooh, I really love that. It is going to be perfect for every day. Now this is a little bit more my speed compared to the one from Fenty, but I'm still excited about both of these shades. I cannot wait to try these on. It's going to be really hard to decide which products we try in the first video and which ones are going to have to wait. So let me know down below in that comment section which products you're most excited about to see me try on and which ones we can maybe do in another video down the road. Another new product that I picked up is the newest one from Laura Mercier. This is the Bronze Color Infusion. I got mine in the lightest shade of the line, which is going to be 20 Maricel, and this is a split pan bronzer. So you're going to have a matte bronzer and a shimmery bronzer, and I love the undertones of these because they're warm, but they're more on like the peachy side of warmth. They don't lean super orange, they don't lean super yellow, and for my fair, cool undertone skin, that is the perfect kind of bronzer. So I knew I had to pick this up and give it a shot. So the first one that we have is going to be the matte bronzer, which is going to be Sculpt. So that is what the shade looks like right there. Let's do a little swatch on the back of my hand. Oh yeah, that is going to be a perfect bronzer shade for me. I love it. Like I said, it is still warm, but it's more on like the peachy or reddy side of warmth versus the yellow or the orangey side. But then the other one they have is going to be Glow, and this is going to be more of like a bronzer topper or more of like a shimmering bronzer, according to Laura Mercier, or just whatever. You can either mix the 2 shades together or you can use them separately, and I'm excited about it. That does look very shimmery. It looks like it has a really pretty glow to it. So I think for me personally, I'm gonna like the 2 shades mixed together or just the matte one on its own. But I do like a bronzer that has a little bit more of a glow to it in the summer when I want to have more of like that bronze goddess look going on. So I'm really excited about this one. So up next from ABH, we have the new Smooth Blur Contour Stick. I picked mine up in the shade Half Tone, and if you watched my most recent Shop My Stash video, I mentioned that I was really curious about this because I do like to have more of a contour product in my routine, but usually whenever something is more of a contour product, the lighter one leans a little too gray, and it can look very muddy, bruisey, and chalky on my skin. And when I was looking at the shades online, this didn't look like it was that cool leaning, like perfect for sculpting out the face, but also a really good sort of bronze tour moment. So this is what the shade looks like, and let's see what that is going to do. Ooh, I think that is going to be a perfect shade for me. It's definitely more on the cool side, but it has just enough warmth in it that it's not going to give me that bruisey, ashy look on my skin that I don't want. It feels very creamy whenever I put it on. Let's see how it's going to sort of disperse. Oh yeah, that is going to be absolutely beautiful. I'm really excited about that. I will admit it's a little bit more warm tone than what I thought it was going to look like just based off of the pictures online, but it's not so warm that it's going to be a straight up bronzer on my skin. Like I said, it's going to be perfect as a bronze tour for me. So the next product that I picked up is a liquid eyeshadow from Giorgio Armani, and I picked this one up because I wanted something that I could very easily throw all over my lid, tap a little sparkle over top, and be out the door for mornings where I don't have quite as much time to get ready, or maybe I just don't feel like dipping into an eyeshadow palette and doing the whole shebang, but I still want something on my lid that's going to make me look a little put together. So that is why I picked this up. I have several eyeshadow sticks in my collection, but I didn't have the shade that I wanted. I wanted something that was going to be just a little bit deeper than my skin tone, just to give me a little bit of contouring in there, a little bit of kind of color correcting, and like I said, throw a little shimmer on over top and be out the door. So I picked mine up in the shade Beige 18M, and this looks like it's gonna be the perfect shade that I was looking for. It's just a little bit deeper than my natural skin tone. It looks like it has a little bit of a cool undertone to it. So let's do a swatch on the back of my hand. I watched so many reviews on these, and I've heard so many people say these are very creamy, they're very easy to blend out, but they dry down and they stay in place all day without creasing. So hopefully this will hold up to my oily eyes. We will definitely have to try it out. I will do a wear test with it and see what it does, but I'm really excited about this one. This one was one that I didn't think I would ever purchase anything like this, but you know, things are changing. My day-to-day life is looking a little bit different, and right now there are definitely days where I just want something very simple in my routine. So I did get a couple of lip products that have been sitting on my wish list for quite some time, and the first one is going to be the lip oil from Gisou. Now this has quite the reputation on social media. I've heard it's an incredible formula, and I was really interested in it when it first launched, a couple of years ago at this point, but I heard from so many people that that one smelled like French fry oil, so I decided to steer clear of it. But since then, I've heard that they have improved the fragrance now that they have more smells and more shades to it, so we're gonna find out. I picked mine up in Raspberry Swirl, and y'all, this was like one of 5 lip oils that I had in my cart, and I ultimately decided to go with this one because I have been so curious about it for such a long time. So we're gonna swatch it out, but before we do that, I wanna give it a quick smell test. Okay, so it does not smell like French fry oil. In fact, it kind of smells like raspberry sorbet. It has like this sweet fruity smell to it, but it's not overpowering. It's not anything where it like hits you in the face. But let's swatch this out right here on my hand. Okay, so this is a little bit thicker than what I had in mind as far as a lip oil goes, but it's not quite as thick as a gloss. It's more like a hybrid. It doesn't feel like it's going to be super thick or sticky. It's definitely high shine, and I like it how it has a very soft tint to it. So I'm really excited to try that out. But the other one that I picked up is one of the Gloss Bomb Sticks from Fenty Beauty. These launched some point last year with lip liners. I've heard very hit or miss things on her lip liners, but I've heard really good things about these. So I picked mine up in the shade Blaz'D Donut, and it looks like it's going to be a really pretty like cool tone pink shade, which is exactly what I go for. So this is what the component looks like. Absolutely beautiful. I love this sort of slim component. So let's get this one right here. I am slowly losing the ability to speak, it feels like, but that is absolutely beautiful. I was watching Allie Glein's video where she was going over her suggestions, and she said that this would pair really good with the Pillow Talk Fair lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury, and that's one of my favorite lip liners. So that was part of the reason I picked up this shade over a couple other shades that I had in my loves list, and I really like that. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. I'm excited to try this one as well. So I do have a couple of products that had to be shipped to me because they weren't available for same-day delivery, and I will go over those in just a minute. But the last product that I have physically sitting here in front of me is the only product in this entire haul that is not a makeup product, but is this body butter from Josie Maran. I am almost out of the body butter that I have. I've never tried this one before. I usually get the Brazilian Boom Boom cream, but that one can be a little thick and rich for this time of year, and while I love the fragrance of it, it can be a little bit much as well. So I decided to go with this one because I've heard so many people just rant and rave about this one for so long. Again, it has been on my wish list for many years. So I picked mine up in Vanilla Vibes, and this is the Whipped Argan Oil Body Butter. So let's see what this is going to smell like. So that's what it looks like. Okay, it is much lighter as far as fragrance goes, and to me it smells more like buttercream frosting. I do really love that smell, so I'm hoping, like I said, this is going to be lighter, something I can layer with my everyday perfume. So let's put a little bit on and see what this is going to feel like. Okay, that is definitely lighter as far as consistency goes. It doesn't feel as thick and rich as the other one, and it looks like it's sinking into my skin really nicely. That is something I look for in a body butter. I am not a huge fan of how like lotion feels on my skin. I want it to be something very hydrating, but I also want it to sink into my skin and not sit on top of it. And this definitely feels like it's doing it. It feels nice and hydrated, very smoothing. I'm really excited about this one. So like I said, there are a couple of items that had to be shipped to me just because they weren't available in my area for same-day delivery, but they are part of this haul, so I wanted to mention them, and I will pop up pictures of them, but hopefully they will be here before I sit down to try on all these products. But the first one is going to be the Givenchy Prism Libre Blurring and Color Correcting Matte Pressed Powder. I apologize if you can hear Mother Nature going on outside. We have a heavy thunderstorm going on. In fact, Katie is kind of freaking out over here. She hates thunderstorms. So yeah, I have a feeling in a minute she's going to really kind of start to stress out. So let me get through this as fast as I can. But I picked up this powder because it sounds to me like it's going to be the same as the original loose powder formula, just in a pressed form. So hopefully Givenchy has redeemed themselves. I still have the original formula in my collection. I love that powder. I had picked up the reformulated version and ended up returning it because it was like a highlighter on the skin. So fingers crossed it's going to do the same thing. We will do a side by side and compare the formulas. But the other product that I picked up is yet another powder, and this is one that I mentioned that I was going to pick up, and it's the Pat McGrath Blurring Under Eye Powder in the shade Light. You know the pink one is my absolute favorite. I use it every single day, but I do have concealers in my collection that don't really pair well with that pinky undertone, so I'm hoping that this will be the perfect powder for those, and then I truly can use that powder every single day. So those are the other two products that I have that are being shipped to me. But I do have a couple of products that are still on my wish list that just aren't available yet, so hopefully they will become available during the sale and I can pick them up. Otherwise, I will pick them up somewhere down the road. Now the first one is one that actually did become available at some point, sometime between when I placed my order in the early morning of Friday and whenever I got home from work. It was gone, and it is the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Powder Blush Duo, more specifically in the shade Sable and Suede. I believe the shade Jam and Fizz is still available, but that's just not the one I'm interested in. The blush and bronzer duos are still available, but I am waiting for that one. So if it becomes available during the sale, I will pick it up. If not, I will just wait. I have some points. I can still get some money off. And the last two products on my wish list are two perfumes from the brand Boy Smells, which is new into Sephora. I have been wanting to try the brand for such a long time, so as soon as they're available, I plan on picking up the two travel size versions of these. Now, when it comes to perfumes, I am not very good as far as like the notes go, the top notes, the bottom notes, all of that. I know what I like, but I'm not good at describing what I like. My favorite perfume ever is Ombre Leather from Tom Ford. I just love that one. So I do like something a little smoky, something a little bit more unisex, but I also like something that has more like a sweet vanilla fragrance to it. I know I don't like florals. I know I don't like anything citrusy, but these sounded like something that I would like. But the first one is going to be Vanilla Era from Boy Smells, and according to this one, it is a warm and sweet gourmand smell. It's going to have Vanilla Absolute, White Tulip, and Black Amber, and it is a warm and spicy fragrance, so sounds like something that I could like. And the other one is going to be, where are you? Here you are, Cocoa Cream, and this is supposed to be another warm and spicy scent, another warm and sweet gourmand, and this is going to have cocoa milk, tiare, and tonka bean. So I'm really excited about those. Like I said, I'm hoping that they both become available during the sale, but that is going to complete this haul. I am really excited about everything that I got. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know if you have or you are planning on shopping the sale. What are some things on your wish list? What are the things that you are most excited to see me try on? I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation. Light up that comment section. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. And until my next video, have a good one. Bye.